माया तुम्हारा चरण धोरे। छाया बेगदो में छाया दोष शोधि छाया गुण देहो दाचे। छाया सत्संग देहो है हमारे बोछे थी संगे रहा छे। छाया सत्संग देहो है हमारे बोछे थी संगे रहा छे। किया माला नहीं पाए बाला हरि नाम संकीर्तन। तुम्हें कृपा कोरी श्रद्धा बिंदु दिया देहो कृष्ण नाम दान। कृष्णा से तुम्हारा कृष्णा दीते पारो तुम्हारा शक्ति आते। आमी तो कंगाला कृष्णा कृष्णा बोली दाही तब पाछे पाछे। वैष्णव ठाकुरा दया रे सागरा वेदा से करुणा कोरी। दिया पद छाया शोधो या माया तुम्हारा चरण धूरी। वैष्णव ठाकुर दया रे सागरा वेदा से करुणा कोरी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Deshanam Sikdanki. So we will have the NIV verse 4 today. And before that we'll have the prayers. Om Gyantimarandasya Gyanam Janachanakaya Chaksho Militam Hena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Shri Chaitanya Mano Besham Tapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Vadanti Saya Vadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shuta Padakam Shri Guru Vaishnamam Cha Shri Rupam Sarjatam Tahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Tadivam Savadetam Savadutam Pariyana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Cha Namo Om Vishnuvadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Vracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Bhasha Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Bhima Badayate Krishnaya Krishtanya Namne Gauritase Nama He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Ganta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapte Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sate Devi Pranamami Haripire Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyacha Kripa Sindhu Evaja Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaur Bhattarenda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. The song, how many know the meaning of the song, O Vaishnava Thakura? Nobody knows the meaning. See, the song we sang, the second para it talks about Chaya Bega Domi. You know what are the 6 Begas? Vacha Vegam, Mansa Krodha Vegam, Jiva Udar, Uppast Vegam. Chaya Dosha Shodhi. What is Chaya Dosha Shodhi? Atyahara Prachascha Prajalpa Namagraha Shadlodyam Shakti Vinakshati. And what is Chaya Guna? Ussa Nishadharyat Tattakvada Sangatyago Satovritti Shadvi Bhakti Prasyati. And what is Chaya Satsanga? That is today's words. So, all this Vaishnava song is following the nectar of instruction about. Let's close that fan. Let that be on. That one close. Sound बहुत दे रहा है. Tadati pratigrinati Goyamakhyati prayachati Bhunkte bhojate cheva Shatvidam pritilakshanam Dadati pratigrinati Goyamakhyati prayachati Bhunkte bhojate cheva Shadvidam pritilakshanam. Offering gifts and charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind and confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasad and offering prasadam are the 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee and the very amazingly the war is going in the country and we are discussing about loving exchange. Yesterday we had a class, Bhagvatam class on Ajamila. So he's asking the devotees, evening Bhakti Vaibhav class, which was a more major war? The war which is going now, or the war which was Ajamila between the Yamdutas and the Vishnudutas? What do you say? Which was a more important war for Ajamila? That Ajamila seeing Yamdutas and Vishnudutas together, or Indian-Pakistan war? Which is a more important war? Because if in war you are killed, you may go heaven. But Ajamila was going to Naraka. See, in war, if you're killed, you will go to heaven. But if you go to Naraka, you will suffer for much more time. So we are also fighting a war every day. Isn't it? Devotees are also on war with Maya. War with the cycle of birth and death. So there is a lot of important war what we are fighting. But sometimes we may forget this war and we may remember that war. So a devotee is fighting a war against Maya only. See, fighting a war against a small nation is one thing. To fight a war who is the master of this world, Maya Devi, it's a big thing. So devotees, they have waged a war against Maya, which is the cause of all the wars, which is the cause of all the problems in life. We have raised a war against her. And she's attacking us. Right? She can attack us in night, in day. And just like S-400 of India intercepted all the missiles. So our Sudarshan Chakra is chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So whatever missiles are put by Maya, the Hare Krishna radar detects it and intercepts it before it comes and attacks us. And Maya is shooting arrows at every moment. We may not realize it. And she's very expert in shooting there. And she's more clever enemy than we us. She's more powerful and more clever. Maya Devi. So we have also raised a war against Maya. There. So even you win one war, the next birth you come, again you will see some war, whatever country you're born in. Isn't it? So wars are not going to end in planet or in this Bhuloka. But a war to get exit from the Bhuloka and go to the spiritual world, that's a real war, and you don't have to see any war in the spiritual world. So therefore, the war of the devotees is an higher war. And of course, the war of India-Pakistan is also have a dharmic basis, that killing terrorism, which kill innocent people, is a dharma of the state, and they are doing it there. And in fact, if India is not protected, then you will not be able to practice also Krishna consciousness. So India has to be protected, otherwise you cannot freely, otherwise it will become like Bangladesh. You cannot practice freely Krishna consciousness. Now you are able to so freely practice. So we wish well that India remain victorious, whatever the situations come, so no doubt. But as devotees, you understand there is a more war. And the sages, see, Kshatriyas fought external war. But the Brahmanas and the sages fought an internal war. And this internal war is a more deadly war. Is a more deadly war. Because Maya again will entice you. So this war will get over maybe 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, or 1 year. But the war with Maya is going on eternally. We are under the subjugation of Maya eternally. Now we have realized we are under her subjugation. Like India had been suffering from terrorism last 30-40 years. But now this is the first time they took such a strong action. So we have also been subjugated by Maya from Maya eternally. Isn't it? Now after coming to devotees, we learn that we have to fight against her. You have to fight against her. And now when you start fighting, things will not be going to be easy. Things are going to become little difficult, isn't it? And now when you are fighting, the things are not easy. And sometimes probably after becoming devotee, life looks little more difficult. Previously I was a more better person. Now I'm seeing so many anarthas in my heart. Because now you're seeing where is the terrorism in our heart. The anarthas are terrorizing our consciousness. There. Rather than going to Krishna, they are massacring us, killing us. So therefore, raising Krishna consciousness of a morning program is a time you are doing war exercise every day. Not war exercise, you're practically in the war with Maya. And Maya is defeating us so many times with not able to take shelter of Krishna. Maya defeats us in form of our conditionings. She knows that's our weakness and she will smash us again and again. Break our determination to practice Krishna consciousness. There. So she is very expert taskmaster. She knows where is to be do what there. But in association of devotees, we are protected. And therefore, this verse is talking about how we should have good relationship and association of devotees. And what Maya try to does, the first thing is take you out of devotee association. Then she can massacre you easily. When you are in devotee association, Maya cannot touch us. So first she will start making you find fault with the devotees, fight with the devotees, and then what will happen after fighting with the devotees? Leave Krishna consciousness. Then for Maya is a bhai haath ka khel to handle you. He knows you are an old boy, that same boy who used to sleep 12 o'clock, get up 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. ये करेगा 16 माला. I again bring you back to your standards. You got point. But in devotee association, it's very difficult for Maya to attack because devotees are protecting us from they are our defense system. But Maya Devi will destroy the defense system only. Maya Devi will destroy the defense system. And what is the defense system? Association of devotees or faith in the association of devotees. Right? So Maya Devi will destroy that only. And then you will feel, oh, now I am alone. I will practice alone. This is like, then Maya Devi will send her aeroplane to shoot us, but you don't have anything to defend. And you can't. And that's what the Maya Devi is. So that's what the Maya Devi is working hard. But doing the 6 loving exchanges, what will happen when you do 6 loving exchanges? Then Maya Devi will not be able to attack us. And that's why this verse is very, very important. See, for Maya Devi has to attack us, she has to take us out of devotee association, or she has to attack our faith in devotee association. Right? She has to their devotee association. And but she cannot do it if you have a nice devotee association. Preeti Lakshanam with devotees. That is counteract to her attack. And therefore, it's very important learning this Preeti Lakshanam in devotee association. And that's what the topic we are learning today. So understood why this devotee association is so important. This Preeti Lakshanam. You can put on YouTube, no? And the people are fearing. See, Prabhupada writes in the first canto. This earth is not somebody's father's property. It is Krishna's property. So nobody can destroy this earth by nuclear weapons. In the section where Ashwathama has actually put a nuclear weapon. And Krishna told Arjuna, you also put a nuclear weapon and withdraw both. And both were withdrawn. Otherwise there will be a nuclear holocaust even that time. But Krishna prevented it, that nuclear holocaust. The same way Prabhupada writes, unless Krishna wants, nobody can destroy the earth with nuclear weapons. Unless Lord wants it. And if Lord wants it, nobody can stop it. And if Lord wants it, there may be some higher purpose behind everything. Because this earth doesn't belong to somebody कि इसको जाके destroy कर दो आप. Right? It has to be Lord's. Like for example, in the battle of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna showed Arjuna that already killed everybody. That in the Mahabharata war, 64 crore people died according to Mahabharata. 64 crore people. Deaths were in Mahabharata, 60 crore. That was a big massacre of Mahabharata there. And but Krishna already showed to Arjuna that already killed everybody on the battlefield. You just nimitt mat bhave. And then what had happened after 80 years of war? 80 years of war. From killing Kamsa till Mahabharata was 80 years. Then 60 years of Satyuga had come by the rule of Yudhishthira Maharaj and Parikshit Maharaj. So before something good rule comes, there are always a dawn, always there will be conflicts, always there will be thing. So we do not so much it affected, but our war with Maya is very important. And Prabhupada writes in the sixth canto, a devotee, because during Prabhupada time also there were a lot of chances of world war, but it didn't happen. The Prabhupada said devotee need not fear world war because Vishnu Dutas, just like Ajamila chanted Narayana and Vishnu Dutas came and protected Ajamila. Same way devotees should keep chanting, the Vishnu Dutas will protect the devotees. Vishnu Dutas will protect them. So our Sudarshan Chakra is chanting the holy name. So you're going and doing Harinam Sankirtan all around. So that protects the whole environment also. There. So that's a real person. Of course, even there was a plague in Kolkata in 1900. The one Prabhupada writes, one sadhu went everywhere making chant everybody, Hare Krishna, and the plague subsided. But Prabhupada said that is Nam Aparadh. To use the holy name to drive away plague is Nam Aparadh. That's not a real potency of the holy name. There. So the holy name has the potency, when chanted with faith, to reduce all the evil effects of this was or something. So we should chant more intensely and take more shelter of Krishna during this war time, isn't it? We should take more shelter of the Lord during this time that only holy name can protect us. Because some things is beyond the protection of any physical human things, no matter how much is there. But when you are protected by the arms of the Lord, then there is no fear. Like there's one video where Ukrainian devotees, bombs are blasting, but Ukrainian devotees are chanting in the temple hall. There. So, like Prabhupada also, when bombing were happening in Kolkata, and Prabhupada was making puris for Krishna. Coolly. So Krishna consciousness is a life of fearlessness. And when situations go worse, devotees do more kirtan. So to protect all innocent people. Okay, so let us understand the 6 principles. There are 6 kinds of activities. Giving charity to the devotees, accepting from the devotees whatever they may offer in return, opening one's mind to the devotees, inquiring from them about the confidential services of Lord, honoring prasadam or spiritual food given by the devotees, feeding the devotees with prasad. An experienced devotee explains. Yeah, somebody can read it? One second, read it.
When a devotee distributes prasad, remnants of food offered,
read again. An experienced devotee explains.
An experienced devotee explains and an inexperienced devotee learns from him. This is Guhyamakyati Prachati. When a devotee distributes prasad, remnants of food offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in order to maintain our spirit of devotional service, we must accept this prasad as the Lord's grace received through the pure devotees. We should also invite pure devotees to our home, offer them prasad, and be prepared to please them in all respects. This is called Bhungte Bhojayate Chaiva. Even in ordinary social activities, these six types of dealings between two loving friends are absolutely necessary. For instance, when one businessman wishes to contact another businessman, he arranges feast in a hotel, and over the feast, he openly expresses what he wishes
How
to
many
do.
have you seen? Even business dealings happen in restaurants and there's the eating. You say, ये तो पैसे की बात है, यहाँ रेस्टोरेंट में क्यों इतना पैसा खर्च करने का है? Have you ever thought about it? पैसे की बात हो रही है, पैसे बात कर लो, क्या रेस्टोरेंट में जाके इतना दावा देने का, पैसा खर्च करने का है? My friend was writing, when business dealings happen. Yeah.
He then inquires from his business friend how he should act, and sometimes presents are exchanged. Thus, whenever there is a dealing of preeti or love in intimate dealings, these six activities are executed. In the previous verse, Srila Rupa Goswami advised that one should renounce worldly association and keep company with the devotees. Sangarayat sato vritte. Sangatyagat. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness has been established to facilitate these exchanges of loving exchanges between devotees. This society was started single-handedly, but because people are coming forward and dealing with the give and take policy, the society is now expanding all over the world. We are glad that people are donating very liberally to the development of society's activities, and people are also eagerly accepting whatever humble contribution we are giving them in the shape of books and magazines dealing strictly with the subject matter of Krishna consciousness. We sometimes hold Hare Krishna festivals and invite life members and friends to participate in the feasting by accepting prasadam. Although most of our members come from the higher rungs of society, they nonetheless come and take whatever little prasad we are able to offer them. Sometimes the members and supporters inquire very confidentially about the methods of performing devotional service, and we try to explain this. In this way, our society is successfully spreading all over the world, and the intelligentsia of all countries is gradually appreciating our Krishna conscious activities. The life of the Krishna conscious society is nourished by these six types of loving exchange among the members. Therefore, people must be given the ways mentioned above. An ordinary man can
Yeah.
People must be given the chance to associate with the devotees of ISKCON, because simply by reciprocating in the six ways mentioned above, an ordinary man can revive his dormant Krishna consciousness. In the Bhagavad Gita 2.63 it is stated, Sangha Sanjayate Kama. One desires and ambitions develop according to the company one keeps. It is often said that a man is known by his company, and if an ordinary man associates with devotees, he will certainly develop his dormant Krishna consciousness. The understanding of Krishna consciousness is innate in every living entity, and it is already developed to some extent when the living entity takes a human body. It is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela,
नित्य सिद्ध कृष्ण प्रेम साधक बनाए श्रवणादि शुद्ध चित्त कराय उदय.
Pure love for Krishna is eternally established in the hearts of living entities. It is not something to be gained from another source. When the heart is purified by hearing and chanting, that love naturally awakens. Since Krishna consciousness is inherent in every living entity, everyone should be given a chance to hear about Krishna. Simply by hearing and chanting, Shravanam Kirtanam, one's heart is directly purified and one's original Krishna consciousness is immediately awakened. Krishna consciousness is not artificially imposed upon the heart, it is already there. When one chants the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the heart is cleansed of all mundane contamination. In the first stanza of Sri Shikshashtaka, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says,
Yeah, so see, very beautiful point is, you don't have to increase our religion by guns. Some people increase religion by the guns. If you don't practice, you will be killed. That's what all terrorism about. There. But you can just have loving exchanges with people and whole world will become Krishna conscious. How many feel it's a very good idea for what's presenting here? See, what is preaching? 6 loving exchanges and whole world becomes Krishna conscious. That's all. How many feel it's a nice idea for preaching? And many people become devotees just by eating prasadam. Right? Like Anukul Kashyap says, that he used to come to that hill temple. And they will feed him so much prasadam that he stopped doing all, there's no place in the stomach to drink liquor or something there. And he got transformed and became a devotee there. Because there's a loving exchange. So in our preaching, along with the philosophy and everything, the six loving exchanges are very important. And not only even in preaching, even in the day-to-day, our Vaishnava dealings. If we want to grow in Krishna consciousness, the six loving dealings are very important. And what six loving dealings? Exchanging prasadam, exchanging gifts, and exchanging your heart. It's so simple. And that creates nice relationships. Because what values is not the feast. What values the love with which the feast is served and is cooked. Sometimes we invest a lot of Lakshmi in the prasadam for the new boys. And after a year, they all go away. Because six loving exchanges did not happen. And by money, you can't make people devotees. By money, you can't make people devotees. But by six loving exchanges, you can easily make devotees. And you can keep devotees. And that's why the six loving exchanges is very important for the progress of Krishna consciousness. And they look so nice. Six loving exchanges. Chaya Sat Sangha. Deho hai hamare. You saying? The song is saying Chayo Sangha. So if you get the success of life, if some way or other you get the six loving exchanges with a devotee, that's a success. What do you think? Is a success or not? You get the six loving exchanges with a devotee, that's a success. Life. Why? Because just by that association, we will grow. About saying how ISKCON devout people come, they take prasadam in the ISKCON temple, then they invite to their home and the devotees go take. So relationship develops or not? There. Then you hear the class, so you're hearing what is in the heart of the preacher. And then you ask a question, the preacher is hearing what you ask the question. Or it is one-to-one, you're inquiring about Krishna consciousness there. And then you give some donations to the Lord and to the devotees. And devotees offer you some gifts back. And that's how the six loving exchanges go on. So life is about six loving exchanges. Even preaching should be done in the mood of six loving exchanges. You're sharing your heart, and you also, and unless you learn to hear others' heart, they will also not learn to take your heart seriously. It's important in preaching. So, unless you spend time to know about a boy open up to you, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Same way, unless we have some devotees to open our heart, you will see anarthas will not go away. They remain as it is. Because the lid is closed. The lid is closed. We need some devotees whom we can openly talk what's in our problems in our heart and receive solution. And even share our joys of Krishna consciousness. Share what good is happening. And that kind of relationship is very much sought. So we should have this kind of friendly relationship even with senior devotees. And even with our equals. It's very important. And when you have to preach to new people, you need to make such type of loving relationships. And if you have this kind of loving exchanges, the first thing a person will come, if any problem he faces, he will ask you, कि क्या करना है? Because he has that faith. So, taking care of people in Krishna consciousness means with six loving exchanges. And growing in Krishna consciousness means developing the six loving relationship with the devotees. Then based on this, we can grow in our bhakti. If the six are not there, it becomes very mechanical, very official. Whatever you do becomes very official, becomes very strategic, becomes very thing. But the six loving changes makes it a homely atmosphere, where our heart is there for Krishna. There. And that heart comes through loving relationship with the Vaishnavas. There. Doing kirtan together, sankirtan, reading proper books together and discussing about it. So that brings a lot of closeness in the devotees. And that's something, a very, very important thing in devotional service. There's something very, very important in devotional service to understand about. That how by Krishna consciousness we can grow. And Prabhupada is telling that even business people do that. Because the natural tendency, when you eat prasadam with somebody, you develop a relationship. That's why we should have a culture that all devotees sit together and take prasadam. Like I went ECT, I saw that all devotees were sitting and taking prasadam together. It's a very nice culture. Why? When you sit, take prasadam, like in chapati, His Holiness Radha Maharaj emphasized that brahmacharis should take one meal together. All brahmacharis should come together and take one meal together. That brings closeness in the devotee. That brings the closeness in the devotees. There. So they will make sure that lunch they will all take together. And unless Raisham was telling, unless Maharaj will come and takes the Jai Jagannath Baladev Sudamai ki Jai, Shivanandai Bhagavan ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada. Unless you take the lunch together, unless His Holiness Radha Maharaj comes, nobody will start the prasadam. And everybody feels, and then Maharaj will come and then everybody start taking prasadam. So feel one family there. So the six loving exchanges makes a lot of difference in Krishna consciousness. And Krishna consciousness becomes much easier in such a way that Maya cannot penetrate. If six loving exchanges are not there, the Maya will easily penetrate. Same way, Anukul Kashyap also shared many pastimes with Jayapataka Maharaj. Ki how Maharaj is so friendly, so loving. So that's how the relationships is what so much matters with devotees. There. So to the degree we have those relationships, then our heart will not want to go anywhere else, isn't it? Because our heart is with the devotees. And your heart is satisfied with the devotees, your heart will not want to go anywhere else. And that's very important. Then the heart cannot go anywhere else. And then Prabhupada says, and how this works? Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhaka Bunay Shravanadi Shuddha Chitta Koraya Udaya. So Krishna Prem is in everyone's heart. Shravanadi, just by hearing, Shuddha Chitte Koraya Udaya. So just by hearing the glories of the Lord, the chitta will become Shuddha and will are taken there. And when there people have loving exchanges, then people want to hear also. See why people will want to hear you? When you have some loving exchanges. When you like a person, you want to hear him, isn't it? Especially new people. So if you deal with new people with nicely, then it's natural they will want to hear what you are saying. But if you do not deal very nicely, then they may not feel so nice to hear from you. And if they hear what you are saying, and you are speaking purely of Krishna consciousness, they'll become devotees. And same way, if we develop relationship with senior devotees, what happens? Then naturally like to hear. See, if we don't have relationship or respect for the senior devotees, then we'll not be able to sit and hear. And that's why before every class introduction is given, so that you can hear from the, do you know who is who? Then you can develop a, there and you can hear. The same way we have relationship with the senior devotees, then what will happen naturally, we will like to hear from them with a heart. And when you hear from a heart, see many times what happens, we hear without relationship with people. If you hear without relationship with people, it may not have that impact as when you hear from people with relationship. That immediately transform. And also, if you keep hearing from some people, you develop relationship with them. And apart from hearing from people, you should also reveal your heart, what you are feeling. It's a both way process. And it works nicely there. And then what happens, the thick relationship develops. And same way by giving gifts. See, how do you see those, anybody give us gift, we remember them. Some relationship develops. Yes or no? That you think about them, you feel little concern. Giving some prasadam, it makes that relationship or not? There. The simple acts, but they work very. What happened in relationship? Always there's an ego. What this person think about me? How many have you seen that? The one layer of wall comes. What this person thinks about me? But somebody has given you prasadam. Somebody has praised you. See, praising is also another important quality in developing relationship. Is the biggest gift in Krishna consciousness. Even you give some 1,000 rupees gift to a devotee, he may not be so happy if you praise him with other devotees. How many experience that? And right praise in Krishna consciousness, encouragement. Not just wishy-washy, but right praise. It's sometimes more a better gift than 1,000 than the real gifts. What do you think? The people are earning how much you will make a difference their gift. But a little appreciation makes a lot of difference with it. And heart opens. Same way receiving appreciation with a humble heart. That these are expectations from me. And it's all mercy of Guru and Krishna. But then your heart opens. Oh, this person, because when you appreciate a person, okay, this person thinks about you. Because always you're doubtful, what the other person think about me? In any relationship, when you're making, what's the most biggest benchmark come? What the other person thinks about me. What do you think? And that wall is breaking. When you feed prasadam, when you appreciate, that wall is broken. And then you can develop relationships. And that's the whole psychology of relationship. And then when you have relationships, you can absorb Krishna consciousness from them. And therefore, relationship is very, very important. Same way, your preaching will not be successful unless you have relationships. If a nice relationship, your preaching will be very easy to make devotees. And how to make relationship? This is six loving exchanges. Do the 6 loving exchanges with love. At the same time, we should not be sentimental or emotional too much. See, we need sentiments for serving Krishna, but we should not be sentimental. Same way Uddhava says, Lord, we conquer over Maya by taking your remnants, your worn clothes, on there. So sometime we may get as gift some use thing of the deity. Should take with lot of respect that it is of my Lord, Tadya. So Lord Tadya to be worshipped more than the Lord also. So when we see that, that also makes a lot of sense in our life. That also grows a lot in our life. This Tadya. So so this loving changes a very, very important devotional service. And without that, you cannot make a community of devotees. Always there will be some differences. Everybody will be in their own world, not concerned about each other, what's happening in others' life. People just focus on what is with them. When six loving changes are not there. But when six loving changes, their life looks very beautiful in Krishna consciousness. There. And that's what we miss in Vaishnava culture and a society. And why we have birthday festival or Brahmachari festival? For this purpose. Okay, everybody appreciate each devotee and devotees know about each other and they develop appreciation for each other, they give gifts. So in fact the biggest gift you can give to a devotee is genuine appreciation. It's a free of cost. It's a free of cost gift. You don't have to purchase, पर से प्रोजेक्ट में salary कम है, give देना मुश्किल है. But no cost for giving appreciations. How many feel? Is any cost? But someone looks very costly for our ego to appreciate others. This free of cost, but costly for the ego to appreciate others. But it's very cheap of the ego to insult others, find fault with others, point out people's fault. But it is quite costly for our ego cost, for our ego to appreciate others, what they are doing. So that simply makes relationship there. And relationship helps so much. Our Krishna consciousness grow due to relationships. Because when you have a relationship, you start liking practicing Krishna consciousness. And as a Vaishnava, by serving the Vaishnavas, you make relationships, serving prasadam, giving charity, you make a relationship there. How many of you receive the video of devotees praying to you on Akshaya Tritiya day? Okay, so how you have felt? Nice, na? So that is relationship. So you give charity and devotees reciprocate. So that is also relationship or no? There. So that's what is the reciprocation. My Prabhu is saying that the people offer charity, then it get gifts in whatever form, and that is 6 loving exchanges. 6 loving exchanges. And when you hear, the heart gets purified. And when hearts get purified, one's ordinary Krishna consciousness immediately awaken. It's already there. It's not imposed. It's already there. The heart is cleansed of all mundane contamination. And what happens? Generally, you will invite others. Oh, come to this class. Come to this program. And what will happen? Krishna Katha. And this is one thing Prabhupada is mentioning, pure devotee here. See, another thing you will find, Prabhupada is saying, the word pure devotees. And what are pure devotees? Prabhupada mentioned pure devotees. We also When a devotee distributes prasadam, he accepts prasadam through the pure devotees. And you should also invite pure devotees over home. Bhagavatam 5th canto gives a definition of pure devotees. You know the definition of pure devotee? In the assembly of pure devotees, there is no discussion of economics, politics, but the discussion of Harikatha. This association of pure devotees. This is a discussion of Harikatha. So when you hear Harikatha, in such association, a heart automatically changes. Cheto darpanamachanam bhavmahadavagani nirvapanam shreya kerava chandrika vitaranam vedyavado jivanam anandam putivardhanam patipadam purnamrita swadanam sarvatma isna param param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. So sometimes people become devotees just doing Sankirtan with devotees. Isn't it? Because they start liking it. Sometimes to appreciate philosophy, understand philosophy, dull hates of Kali Yuga is a little difficult thing. But to appreciate prasadam and kirtan is much easier. So kirtan also should be very nice for new people. So they can really appreciate Krishna consciousness. Like Abhimanyu does very nice kirtan when the boys come. So 20 minutes, are we devotees see? They're singing. So that actually makes is an important part to make new people devotees. The kirtan you do. Because as people hear the kirtan, their original Krishna consciousness awakens. So it increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Yes, read this. Bhakti Shastra. Yeah.
Not only is the chanter of the Mahamantra purified, but the heart of anyone who happens to hear the transcendental vibration of the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
See, who happens to hear? That means when you are doing Sankirtan, who happens to hear also gets clean.
So Hare is also cleansed. Even the souls embodied in the lower animals, insects, trees, and other species of life also become purified and prepared to become fully Krishna conscious simply by hearing the transcendental vibration. This was explained by Thakur Haridas when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired from him how living entity lower than human beings can be delivered from material bondage. Haridas Thakur said that chanting of the holy name is so powerful that even if one chants in the remotest part of the jungle, the trees and animals will advance in Krishna consciousness simply by hearing the vibration. This was actually proved by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself when he passed through the forest of Jharkhand. At the time, the tigers, snakes, deer, and all other animals abandoned their natural animosity and began chanting and dancing in Sankirtan. Of course, we cannot imitate the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but we should follow in his footsteps. We are not powerful enough to enchant the lower animals such as tigers, snakes, cats, and dogs, or entice them to dance. But by chanting the holy names of the Lord, we can actually convert many people throughout the world to Krishna consciousness. Contributing or distributing the holy name of the Lord is sublime example of contributing or giving charity, the Dadati principle. By the same token, one must also follow the Pratigranati principle and be willing and ready to receive the transcendental gift. One should inquire about the Krishna consciousness movement and open his mind in order to understand the situation of the material world. Thus, the Goyam Akyati principle can be served.
So what was saying? Goyam Akyati Prachati. Dadat first I was talking about Dadati. So first I was talking about Shravan and Kirtan. Just by hearing the holy names. And what happens when you do 6 loving exchanges with pure devotees? They won't talk to you about economics and politics. They will divert your mind from war to Krishna consciousness. Right? When war is happening, everybody is looking towards what's happening in the war. But But in association of devotees, you look about what is happening in the internal war. Then the external war with it. In fact, the external war may become a distraction from the internal war what we are having. And makes us more bodily conscious. I'm Indian and they're Pakistani, Indian killing Pakistani. So we should not go into bodily. And see the innocent people in Pakistan, there are innocent people in India, both are getting killed. See, the war may be required to end the terrorism there. That is another thing. That's a dharma yuddha. But we should not become too bodily conscious in terms of thinking I and mine. Are you able to understand this point? See, the yuddha may be a dharma yuddha. India launching a war, it may be a dharma yuddha to end the terror and end the mischievous activities required. But we should not become bodily conscious due to that. With it. We are beyond the bodily designation. Prabhu said, Sarupadhir Tatparatvena Nirmalam. So even the souls embodied in lower animals, insects, trees, and other species of life also become purified and prepared to become fully conscious simply by hidden transcendental vibration. And then, at least we cannot imitate Chaitanya Mahaprabhu making the animals chant and dance, but at least we can make people chant and dance. And what is Dadi Pranati? Contributing or distributing the holiness of the Lord. It's a simple example of contributing or giving charity. And be willing to ready the transcendental gift. Like you're coming to attend the class is also transcendental gift. Or taking the holy name from devotees. And we should inquire about Krishna consciousness and open his mind to understand the situation of this world. Tata Guhyam Akhyati Prachati principle can be served. In fact, I've seen this Guhyam Akhyati Prachati is one of the very important principles. How we should have some senior devotee with whom we can do Guhyam Akhyati Prachati. Otherwise, life will be very difficult. Mind will eat us up in Krishna consciousness in due course of time. The mind will have a lot of terrorism, of anarthas, right? There. And it will create a terror in the anarthas will create a terror. But your mind to open up, that devotees can shoot down those anarthas or tell us how to uplift in this kind of situations. And this opening our heart to devotees is very, very important. Without that, we cannot progress much. And now we see, unless you have good relationship, we cannot open the heart. And once you open the heart, you develop good relationship. How many observe that? There. So this was a very important aspect of Krishna consciousness. And then Prabhupada talking about Bhungte Mukta Jiva example. Yeah, read this. Some devotee has not read. You can give this side also.
The members of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness invite the society's members and supporters to dine with them when they hold love feasts in all their branches every Sunday. Many interested people come to honor Prasad, and whenever possible, they invite members of the society to their homes and feed them sumptuously with Prasad. In this way, both the members of the society and the general public are benefited. People should give up the company of so-called yogis.
So here passing, interested people come to honor Prasad, and wherever possible, they also invite the member to see the Prasad. In this way, both are benefited and loving exchanges happen. Bhungte Bhungte Jiva. Yeah.
People should give up the company of so-called yogis, jnanis, karmis and philanthropists because their association can benefit no one. If one really wants to attain the goal of human life, he should associate with devotees of the Krishna consciousness movement because it is the only movement that teaches one how to develop love of God. Religion is the special function of human society and it constitutes the distinction between human society and animal society. Animal society has no church, mosque or religious system.
So Prabhupada is saying, don't have Guhyam, this 6 loving exchanges with non-devotees. That will be really have only with devotees.
In all parts of the world, however downtrodden human society may be, there is some society of religion. Even tribal aborigines in the jungles also have a system of religion. When a religious system develops and turns into love of God, it is successful. As
Sabhi pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adokshari ahetukya patita yatma suprasidati.
the supreme occupation, dharma, for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendental Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted in order to completely satisfy the self.
Some of the devotee can read.
If the members of human society actually want peace of mind, tranquility, and friendly relationships between men and between nations, they must follow. They must follow the Krishna conscious system of religion, by which they can develop their dormant love for Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As soon as people do so, their minds will immediately be filled with peace and tranquility.
So what if everybody becomes Krishna conscious in the world, what may happen? There will be peace and tranquility or not? And you can see also people from different countries coming together in Mayapur. They're living peacefully or not? Coming together and chanting. How it is possible? Because Krishna is at the center. Krishna is the father of all. And there were people saying if Krishna consciousness spread, that can only make a world peaceful place. This one religion can make everybody peaceful. And in fact, when the planet was peaceful, this was the only religion. Next devotee. See, Prabhupada says here, Bhagavatam we want all devotees engage in not to speak to impersonals or Mayavadis, who are determined to oppose a theistic movement. So there is no benefit in feeding snake milk and banana because snake will never be. On the contrary, by taking milk and banana, the snake simply becomes more poisonous. If a snake is given milk to drink, it poison simply increases. For similar reason, we should not disclose our mind to serpent, Mayavadis and Karmis. Such disclosure will never help. It is best to completely avoid associating with them and never ask them about anything confidential because they cannot give good advice. Nor should we extend an invitation to Mayavadis and thieves or accept their invitation. For by such intermingling, we may become affected by the atheistic mentality, Sangha Sandhyate Kama. It is a negative indication of this word that we should refrain from giving anything or accepting there for the Mayavadis and thieves. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has also warned Vishaya and Khaila Dushtolaman when he eats food prepared by worldly people, one's mind becomes wicked. Unless one is very advanced, he is unable to utilize everyone's contribution to follow the Krishna movement. Therefore, the principle one should not accept charity from Mayavadis or atheists. Because you accept charity from them, you associate with them. Your mati also goes away. Like one time, when Venki chicken person came, while I went, this is a girl, he said, I'll give 25 crore rupees. You make this temple. And put my name also, Venki chicken. He sponsored it. So said, no, we don't want your money. You make a temple also. उसमें उसकी दीवारों में भी मुर्गे की आवाज आएगी. Because so many chickens have been killed and the mandir wall is being constructed. So saying, don't take charity even for Mayavadis or... Now Mayavadis are people, Mayavadi Krishna Prati. Those people will say Krishna's form is Maya or Mayavadi. See, their impersonalists who accept Krishna as the Supreme Lord, but they are more attracted to the Brahman feature. They're impersonalists. But then there are Mayavadis who say Krishna's form is Maya. Higher than Krishna is somebody impersonal Brahman. They offend the form of the Lord. So such people who speak ill about the Lord, like some organization talk about Lakshmi Narayana in a very derogatory way, there and give only Brahman is supreme. So we want to keep distance from them. We don't even want to have photo sessions with them. There. So they will otherwise contaminate our mind. Vishaya ana khaila dushto hai. and don't eat with them because it will poison our mind. Indeed, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has forbidden student, even with ordinary man who are too addicted to material sense gratification. If we eat from people addicted to sense gratification, then our mind also becomes like that. जैसा खाओ अन्न वैसा बने मन. Yeah. Read this.
The conclusion is that we should always keep company with devotees, observe the regulative devotional principles, follow in the footsteps of the acharyas, and in full obedience carry out the orders of the spiritual master. In this way, we shall be able to develop our devotional service and dormant Krishna consciousness. The devotee who is neither a neophyte nor a Mahabhagavat, a greatly advanced devotee, but is within the middle state of devotional service, is expected to love the Supreme Personality of Godhead, make friends with the devotees, show favor to the ignorant, and reject the jealous and demoniac. In this verse, there is a brief mention of the process of making loving transactions with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and making friends with the devotees. According to the Dadati principle, an advanced devotee is supposed to spend at least 50% of his income on the service of the Lord and his devotees. Sri Rupa Goswami has set such an example in his life. When he decided to retire, he distributed 50% of his life's earning to Krishna's service and 25% of his to his relatives and kept 25% for personal emergencies. This example should be followed by all devotees. Whatever one's income, 50% should be spent on behalf of Krishna and his devotees, and this will fulfill the demands of the Dati.
Why devotees are laughing? Prabhupada was very simple in his presentation, right? What is income? 50% should be spent on behalf of Krishna devotee and doesn't fulfill them of the Dati. I feel this is a little difficult. Nobody feels? Huh? And we never make sure to. So it's a little tough. See, one lecture Rasham says, so sometimes you go for yatra, that's also devotional expenditure. Isn't it there? तो कुल मिला के expenditure हमारे devotional purposes के लिए ही होता है. So basically the point is we should have an expenditure for our devotional. That means try to do. Also, somebody may have a less salary. Like suppose you're staying in a Bangalore-like city. If you have a less salary, 50,000, 60,000. So for living only, if you're living as a grhastha, for living only so much Lakshmi goes away in a month. Hardly there is saving. More than 50% you spend while living in Bangalore, a city like Bangalore. So the modern world, the expenses also have gone very high. So you don't save so much. But during the time, the expenses were very less and the savings were quite high. So people could give more charity. But Bill Gates, whatever he earns, he gives 50% of his charity. Recently announced that I'll give 100% whatever I earn. He could have been the richest person. But because he had been giving 50% charity, he had not been the richest person. He was a satisfied person. And now it's in he's become quite old. I'm saying I want to give 100% to there. And see, you will see many of the people who have stayed rich for a long time, they'll be very charitable also. Because that's how they earn the fortune of having more money also. So in the Vishwanath Thakur says, in the third canto, one purport, Ayurharati Vaipamsa Madhyanasto Chayanasa. So what purport he gives in that if you give to a needy person 1 rupee, the next life also you get 1 rupee back. If you give to a Brahmana who is learning, who is not yet learned, you get 100 times back. and you give to a self-realized Brahmana, you get multiple times back. Or to the Vaishnava. You get multiple time back that Lakshmi. Similarly, if you give one moment to Krishna, you get infinite time back. There. So the people, those who have become rich also, because from past life they are doing a lot of charity, and same tendencies are there in this life. So because see what happened, why Krishna is providing money in this world? So that dharma should go on. But rather than spending on dharma, you eat yourself everything. Why Krishna will give you more money? For your sense gratification. See, all opulence is given by Lakshmi there. Now why Lakshmi will give you opulence? Because you serve your husband. But rather than serving the husband, you serve your own senses. Why she will give you more? But when Lakshmi sees, okay, जितना इसको देते हैं ये उतना परसेंटेज में आगे भगवान की भी सेवा करता है, तो लक्ष्मी और देती है कि इससे भगवान की और सेवा हो. सिंपल लॉजिक और नॉट. पर इफ यू डोंट डू भगवान की सेवा, लक्ष्मी क्यों देने का इसको, ये जाके शूद्र जैसा ही काम करने वाला है. Then Lakshmi will draw. And there. That's how the logic works. So if you serve Lakshmi in Lord Narayan service, she will prosper. But you use Lakshmi in your service, nothing will prosper. This is a concept. So you can take what is your quota, Ishavasham, Idam Sarvam, Ten Taktin Punjita. But whatever Krishna has given, you should serve Krishna with that. That will make Krishna happy. So therefore this principle of giving charity is very, very important for saying, the Dati. But we're saying 50% because this is possible for Rupa Goswami. And whatever we can do, we should do. There. At least you see all religions mention 10%. Dasva Bhag Danaka. You heard this? Talk about it. Many people have practice also. There. So at least one should begin with 10%. There. Minimum. Like TDS is cut in the salary. So now TDS is not cutting nowadays, right? Those are less than 12 lakh salary. So that TDS is transcendental donation. Transcendental devotional service. There. So that's what Prabhupada is mentioning about here, the principle of Dati. And wherever your efforts of your fruit of your work goes, that's where your heart also goes. Where the fruits of work goes, there our fruits of work go to Krishna, our heart also goes to Krishna. If fruit of work goes for sense enjoyment, our heart also goes to sense enjoyment. Right? Any questions on this topic? Yes. Yeah. See, if when you are preaching, that is different. And there also you don't eat in the house of new people unless they become devotees, right? Otherwise, Vishere Anakhaila Man. There, you give them prasadam. Same way, they open their questions and you give them Krishna conscious answers. You give them some gift, they give some gift, they give charity. So like that it goes. But we are not eating or we don't hear everything in their heart. That may also contaminate us. Especially you are not powerful enough to digest it. But seniors can digest what is there in their heart and purify that. So it depends upon our own adhikar, what we should hear. But when you're trying to preach, you have to hear of people. And generally when you speak Krishna consciousness, they will also not speak nonsense, you will see. When you speak nonsense, then they will start speaking nonsense.
Harish, Prabhuji, you were regarding developing relationship. So usually what happens, we develop easily a relationship with some devotees. And when it comes to senior devotees or somebody, what happens, respect remains, but that loving relation won't develop. So that how practically we can do that with seniors or somebody.
Yeah, respect is important. Respect should be there, no doubt.
Yes.
But respectfully, you should also write a mail to them how you are doing devotional service if they are not with you. So writing mails, like once a month, you can write a mail and you get a reply, you feel happy with it. So this is one way, asking questions, meeting them, and asking questions, how to make progress in spiritual life, sharing your difficulties in life. So those things we should not hesitate. That's what the work of Nityanand Sevak or Gauranga Sevak to open our heart, isn't it?
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, like if some devotee does service, then like Prakriti has done that service, no? And devotee has agreed to align with Lord, so that is his glorification. But only this much is glorification, though.
We are not Gyanis, we are Bhaktas. We are
Bhakta.
Bhaktas. Actually, devotional service is not done by material senses, it's done by spiritual senses. So devotional service has happened by the spiritual sense of a devotee. So should I appreciate the devotee? Isn't it? Actually, you cannot perform devotional service with material senses. And this is sometimes chanting becomes very difficult or not. Because you cannot chant with material senses. Only to a degree empowered by mercy of Guru and Krishna, you develop spiritual senses. To that degree only you can render devotional service. Therefore we keep credit, appreciate the devotee who has done the devotional service. Whereas the material work is done with the material senses. And there applies. But in devotional service it doesn't apply. Therefore we appreciate a devotee.
Senses are
And that is mean rising from Jnani to Bhakta.
senses are spiritual. How can we understand this?
Jnanis can't understand this. See, there is a Sarupa Shakti of the Lord, which awakens the transcendental senses. Three gunas awaken the material senses. But devotional service happens with the Sarupa Shakti of the Lord, Hiladani, Sanidhi and Samvit, which is the spiritual senses. And Rajagun, Tamagun, they are the material senses. So therefore, this is happening by mercy of Srimati Radharani, mercy of Guru Parampara, whatever we are doing in a spiritual life. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, Vittal has a question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. When you said we have to avoid
Your
association,
name is Vallabh, no?
yes.
Yeah.
When you said we have to avoid association with atheists, jnanis, and karmis, when we go outside of devotee association, we are always surrounded by atheists. Like if I go to college, I will have people around me
So
who are
see,
atheists.
association means what? When you associate with their ideas. But if you're just having an exchange of notebook, that's not a problem. You're just doing work with them. You're not exchanging the idea of atheism with them. So association means when you take up their ideas. So when they are speaking, you should not be humbly listening about their ideas of merging into oneness and atheism. That one should not agree with. One should refute them or go away from that place. But other times you can have business exchanges or college note exchanges, that's not a problem.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
And that's why we get so much training also on philosophy, that you don't accept all this philosophy. Immediately when they speak, immediately our counter arguments will come or not come. So we are ready with our arguments. You also put your Krishna conscious philosophy. And in case you get defeated, you come and ask to devotees, get armed yourself.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Like Krishna's meaning is like Krishna is all attractive, but why he is not attractive by the atheist? Like Mayavati.
Magnet is attracted to all iron or not? But iron to rust dal do. So will you get attracted? Same is the condition of karmis and Mayavadis.
Even Mayavadis are attracted by impersonal forms, but atheists have
They are
no
not attracted by
attraction.
impersonal form also. They are repulsive to the material world. Jagat mithya, Brahma satya. So they have been enough frustrated in the material world to accept homogeneity as supreme. They are fed up with the variety to have no variety as the goal of their life. So the frustration with variety makes them attraction to Brahman. But in case of devotee, the frustration material doesn't give us attraction to Krishna. The service to Vaishnavas bring attraction to Krishna.
Prabhuji, in purport, Prabhupada mentions we should not accept invitation of Mayavadis or we have to, should not invite them. But in many cases, I heard Prabhupada allowing them Mayavadis to stay in temples.
See what Prabhupada says, unless you are a very advanced devotee. You read that? So Prabhupada can do. And Prabhupada did invite them temple, but doesn't make them stay in temple. At the same time, Prabhupada told, no, yeah. So it requires a lot of maturity to associate with them. How to associate, what to associate. See, sometimes some conference will happen. You have to associate with talk and think. So you require a maturity, what to deal and what not to deal. What to appreciate and what not to appreciate. And see, it's not that they're demonic. Sometimes they may also be very good people, satoguni people, but there's one problem. They won't surrender to Krishna. And they may impose, and you may get attracted by their good qualities, and you say, okay, they are not Krishna conscious, having good quality. I can also be like this. That lies the problem. But who is a Krishna Bhakta naturally will have more good qualities than them. Then they don't get impressed by them. In fact, they feel pity upon them. They're pitied by the pitiable. Hey, Gyanis may pity on the karmis, but devotees pity on the Gyanis. But since we are not yet become devotees, we may be hovering on a karmi platform, we may get attracted by them and miss the goal of life. And that's why we still sit there. But pure devotee like Prabhupada can pity them. They have jnana, but they're not in Krishna. But if you get impressed, oh my God, such detachment, such truthfulness, हमारे devotees में नहीं है. ये सच्चा साधु लगता है. It will deviate us. Sometimes Mayavadis could be humble also. More than the devotees. Devotees are very proud, but he's a very humble soul. So these qualities they may have in mode of goodness. But Krishna consciousness, the qualities in mode of transcendence is much higher than that. इसको बंद कर दो, स्क्रीन को हटा दो, इसको लगा दो. Yeah. So devotee by asking question and opening the mind.
Hare Krishna.
Asking questions is opening the. It's also going Makhyati Pricity. Just hearing class one way is not sufficient. You should ask question what is in your mind. Of course, asking in front of everybody is little painful. But sometimes we don't have time to ask personally. Then at least ask in public and go through that pain of asking questions.
Prabhuji, my first question is how to climb that ego wall due to which we are not able to reveal our hearts to our superiors.
Write a mail. To have no wall, have the mail in the between. It's something to break our shell. And the thing, you go meet them, serve them, then they will ask you. And that's how the ego wall is.
Like one thing which I face is like sharing the things which are very deeply, which are very personal to me.
Because you don't have trust, whether confidentiality will be maintained or not. तो डर रहता है, बता दिया तो, because see, when you tell very confidential thing, you can be exploited also, and that's what experience we have in the material world.
Yes, sir.
The same fear we have while sharing with the
Devotees.
devotees. So first we should observe the devotee whether they are talking other secrets or not. So you're not talking other secret, and probably they will keep your secret also. Then you can reveal.
Yes, sir.
You develop that faith. Otherwise, there is no way out.
My second question is, what about accepting charity from very much materialistic people? Like you told about the Mayavadis.
So our principle is we don't accept charity from those who are breaking four-headed principle. Those who are breaking four-headed principle, we don't accept charity. किसी का दारू का धंधा है, उससे हम पैसा नहीं लेंगे. किसी का मटन का बिजनेस है, उससे हम पैसा नहीं लेंगे. So anybody breaking four-headed principle, we don't want to take money from him. Otherwise, it's spoil our consciousness.
But if someone is doing something for Krishna, that thing will almost itself get purified if it is done.
Somehow we are not that pure to purify it. They can directly give to Jagannath and put hundi. We don't have problem. But we don't touch that money which is coming from breaking four-headed. See, people may break four-headed principle, that is one thing. But people are in a business of four-headed principle. So at least we don't take the money which has come by breaking four-headed principle, which is the business of forex. That surely we don't touch it. Because that involves sin.
Third question is, if we are going especially to our relatives' home or some very close friends' home, they ask, like they know we don't eat, we eat without onion garlic, like that is their conception. They make also without onion garlic, but it's not offered. Like how to deal with that situation?
See, if you are going to a relative's house, you can't deal with it. And anyway, they are made without onion garlic. That itself is a big thing, how much respect they have for you. So be appreciative of that at least. And offer in the mind and take it. That's what I would say. If you don't take it, they will feel very bad. अरे तुम्हारे बिना onion garlic का बनाया, फिर भी तुम नहीं ले रहे हो, कैसे बड़े पंडित. Then parents will say, बेटा क्या हो गया तुम्हें, हमारी नाक कटा रहे हो. So at least the relatives are ready to make without onion garlic for you. It's a very big thing. That means they value you so much. And what you may do, कि एक पेपर प्लेट लेके भाई मंदिर में ऑफर करके ले आओ, बस सिंपल ना. Like I went to my nani's home. I told them, no, हम ऑफरिंग करेंगे. And they were very happy, you know, सबको प्रसाद मिल रहा है घर पे. You don't have to tell कि ऑफर करके दो तभी खाएंगे. आप ही ले जाके ऑफर कर दो, सबको खिला दो, सबको प्रसाद खिला दो. तो everybody will be happy if they are pious, isn't it? It's possible, right? Just do 1 or 2 minute offering also. Because they may not wait till 10 minutes offering. Just put tulsi and offer at the thing. Something you can do. Even that's not possible, then offer in the mind and though it's not bona fide in our level to offer in the mind. We can't do that. But in that circumstance I'm saying. Chant 3 times Hare Krishna. Okay. Kedarpur.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, like before coming to Krishna consciousness, we surely will be dealing with materialistic people. So we will be associating, we had associated with them. So now after coming to Krishna consciousness, so those same people, like they expect us to deal the same way, how we were dealing earlier. So now how to deal with them? Like we know
Keep
that
sending prasad to them. And prasad everybody loves, right?
But Prabhuji, they expect us to be...
That you can't fulfill. And you are a devotee now. So use that friendship to give them Krishna consciousness. Which relatives? Friends or relatives?
Friends.
So friends means use that opportunity to preach them Krishna consciousness. Give them prasadam, invite to the temple, give them some prasad, like this. Right? Okay, so we end here. So now today is our Bhakti Shastri camp. So now devotees are prepared with the presentations. Raise your hand, you're prepared with your Ussah Mai. Ussah, who's the Ussah team? Only Prashant Prabhu. Done? Preparation done? There. So we start with the Ussah team. So we meet at 11 o'clock. So we'll have one session 11:15 to 1:30. Then another session we'll have 2:30 to 3:30. So probably in this much time we'll try to cover all the 6 presentations today. So morning I thought to have in a Bhagvatam class format. So our one verse is almost complete. And another verse comes. So the rest will move ahead. And where we will have in 504? 504 we can have. That's more simple setup. So devotees can make the setup according. This is not required. Small screen TV screen is also okay in 504. Arunpur you can see. Arunpur can? You can make it there. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada ki. So we'll meet at 11:15. Hare Krishna. Down, no? Prasad bacha hai na? So you can go early, so Prasad will be there.